All right, everybody. So today we're going to be taking a look at two dynamic microphones, namely the Shure SM7B and the Beyerdynamic M201 TG. Let's get into it. All right, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. So today we're taking a look at these two dynamic microphones, as I said in my intro and in the title, the Shure SM7B and the Beyerdynamic M201 TG, which is, funny enough, an instrument mic, but is great for like talking heads, voiceovers, and things like that. Now, most people think a shotgun mic like this Rode NTG5 is a good mic for indoor dialogue and voiceover. It is, but it has its drawbacks. For instance, I'm in an enclosed room here that has hard surfaces that are fairly close. So you get a lot of reverb into the side interference tubes. You can have phase issues and stuff like that. So in my opinion, use a dynamic mic or a small condenser microphone is a lot better in an environment like this than this Rode NTG5, which is, don't get me wrong, a fantastic microphone, but better for outdoors in my opinion. So let me go ahead and put this down and we'll go over the setup. All right, so for this mic shootout, we're going to A/B between the two mics, and I'll put it up here somewhere in the screen to tell you which mic is which, which one you're listening to. Both mics are currently going into a MixPre3 II, and they're both very power hungry or gain hungry. So I have the Beyerdynamics at a plus 73 dB and the Shure at a plus 76 dB of gain. Now, the only reason I did that is normally I would never turn up the gain that high on either microphone. But since I'm not doing any post-processing except for audio normalization or loudness normalization, I want this to be loud enough that to see if you can hear a difference. So I got the gain kind of cranked up on these microphones. So in my opinion, the Beyerdynamic has a bunch of advantages. First, it's tiny compared to the Shure SM7B. It weighs a third the amount. It's like under a half a pound instead of over a pound and a half for the Shure SM7B. It's definitely smaller. It's definitely lighter. It's easier to get into like tight places. And it's definitely easier to hide or boom or something like that if you want your mic to be less conspicuous in your shot. So for instance, I have these up pretty high and basically in my face about 7 inches, 6 or 7 inches, just so you can hear a difference between these two mics. You can boom these mics, but I want to be nice up and close, but not so close that the proximity effect kicks in and you get that boominess and that low rumble and all that other stuff. So I'm not going to do that. So hopefully you can hear a difference between these two mics. Don't get me wrong, the Shure SM7B is a fantastic mic, and I've used it for a lot of videos, but it just gets in the way a lot. It gets in the way of shots. It gets in the way if I'm in a tight space doing a tight shot and I want to talk. It's a real pain, and you got to have a decent stand because it weighs so much. The Beyerdynamic, on the other hand, as I said before, is a lot smaller, a lot lighter. It's easier to fit into tight spaces and shots and things like that. So hopefully you can hear a difference as I A/B back and forth between these two microphones. This is going to be a short and sweet video just so you can see if there's a difference between them. So let me go ahead and get out of this, so stand by. All right, everybody. So what do you think of these two microphones as I A/B back and forth to them? To me, the Shure SM7B I've used on a ton of videos, and I love this microphone. But it's just too big and too unwieldy, in my opinion. And the Beyerdynamic M201 TG, even though it's an instrument mic, to me sounds fantastic, especially on my voice, which is kind of lower and, not real boomy. I guess I could EQ and put some presence into it and things like that. But the other thing is the Shure is on the flat lines. I don't have any bass boost or high-end boost on the Shure SM7B. I just want to make sure I stated that. So these are about as equal as I can make them. And as I said, hopefully you can hear a difference between these two mics. They're both fantastic mics, and I think you can't go wrong with either one, especially on an indoor like talking head, our indoor dialogue, our indoor voiceover. For any video such as that, I think these are fantastic microphones. Now, in a future video, I'm going to do a small dynamic capsule shootout and see which one's better for me in my environment, whether I want to stick with dynamic or go to an SDC because of the environment and of like hard surfaces and stuff like that. All I know is a shotgun is not right for me inside in this environment. It's great outside, not great inside. So hopefully you learned a little bit, or at least found this entertaining. I just want to say thank you, everybody, for watching and for listening. I greatly appreciate it. Have a great day or night, everybody. Happy shooting. Thank you. Bye.